Not yet, not yet, not yet. Can you get him to shut up? Honest.
Lynette Oxley here for Tac Shack Tactical TV. I'm here and with Paul, and Uchi is here again. I don't think his novel is going to survive the
episode.
The episode today.
Oh, no, Uchi. No, Uchi. When you start ripping the guts out of the soft toys, they're dead.
Okay, let's take them.
Sorry, we have to interrupt the show to remove Uchi's soft toy from him because he's going to kill it.
He's going to kill it. The novel is gone now. Sorry, my boy.
Right. Anyway, sorry guys. We also have a lawnmower happening in the background, so it's a little bit hectic today.
If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button now. That will just help us in the future.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
That's it. Welcome, Paul, again.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Okay, so that Civilian Secretary of Police meeting that we managed to have staved off last year, the one that was supposed to be hosted as a webinar, and which is a bit silly because half of the people who would want to deliver input couldn't get access to it at the time. So it was a bit of a ill thought of plan by the Civilian Secretary of Police. So what we said to the Civilian Secretary of Police at the time is we also knew nothing about who they'd invited, what the conditions were, or anything like that. So we asked, we put in a PAIA request, a Promotion of Access to Information Act request, and we asked the Secretary, an official request. Here's the official request here.
Oh, thank you.
It's so I've got some. Oh, sorry, the mower's just died outside.
Fantastic.
Anyway, but it's a proper government form request for access to record of public body, and it goes on and identifies who's asking for it and on behalf of whom and who we're asking it to. And we were asking the Civilian Secretary of Police, and basically what we asked the Civilian Secretary of Police, and this was on the 10th of November last year. We sent this in. We haven't had no positive response from the Civilian Secretary. They're supposed to react to these things within a certain period of time, and they failed to respond. So now it's 3 months later.
Maybe just explain the background to why we actually asked
hang on,
that.
so I'm going to, so this is in annexure to J750, the form J750. Introduction and background. This request of information is made to enable GOSA to consider the requested information, to enable GOSA to then meaningfully engage with SAPS and the Civilian Secretary of Police on these issues. At all levels of engagement, that includes meeting with the SAPS, the CSP, the Minister, discussions on these issues at the level of the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee and possible future court processes. You have to specify that you're not in current litigation and you're requiring it for current litigation because that's for some reason not allowed. And here we say the Civilian Secretary of Police sent an invitation to various entities inviting them to a conference or consultation related to the proposed Firearms Control Act Amendment Bill. Same was ostensibly circulated to all stakeholders on the 8th of November. This was for a meeting which was going to take place on the 11th and 12th of November. So that's like squeaking in. The applicant submits that the process in arranging the data and the hearings were not with proper forethought and is agenda-driven with outcomes preordained by the CSP. Accordingly, the applicant wishes to obtain the following information. Records and information required. The SAPS and or Civilian Secretary of Police, CSP, is required. We're not requesting it. This is they in terms of the PAIA Act, they have to make this information available to us, to the requester. Full and detailed disclosure of the precise dates and duration of all meetings and consultations held internally and externally with any of the participants, herein referred to as stakeholders, in the above forum, which led to the formulation of the agenda and or creation of the list of invitees, speakers and participants in regard to all parties who are participants in the consultative forum detailed above. So basically what these guys are at this stage,
what are they hiding?
Yeah, exactly. So they're holding these closed sessions with people that they invite, and they don't want to tell us who they invite. So the first place is who they invited. Who did they actually speak to before? When they came up with this whole harebrained scheme, who did they actually speak to? Because we want to know. We have a right to know, and we need to know. the names and contact details of the said stakeholders, minutes of all meetings held with the said stakeholders, written submissions received by SAPS on the Secretariat from such stakeholders in anticipation of the consultative forum detailed above. The written brief and instruction furnished to the Secretariat by the SAPS and or Minister of Police leading up to the creation of such consultation process detailed above. So the Civilian Secretary of Police doesn't just fall out of bed one morning and decide to do something. He's a creature of instruction. He waits for the minister or for the police to tell him what he needs to do. So we need to know who told him, who asked him to do what were his instructions, in what context was it framed. We need to know this. We need to know this. It's part of our constitutional democracy that we're entitled to. We want to know this, and we will know this.
This is meetings in dark rooms,
smoke-filled rooms,
behind closed doors.
But people that we don't know.
All
records, documents, and research papers to be identified, and copies provided as referred to and considered by the Secretariat and SAPS and Minister of Police leading up to the creation of such consultation process detailed above. We want to know it all. It doesn't mean that we can control the meeting or that we can control the outcome of the meeting. We just want to know what the ground rules are. What rules are we playing to?
And who's playing the game?
The rationale and any written or telephonic or video records of internal or external meetings as to the reason why certain stakeholders were invited to participate in the consultation process detailed above, and the rationale why certain interested parties were excluded, despite that they are well known to be substantive role players in matters related to the Firearms Control Act. Now, I'm not talking about us here. We were invited, coincidentally, but other role players, serious role players, weren't. Why?
And
why were they
the
excluded?
Consultation process beforehand.
Yep.
There's something there because they're hiding it.
The rationale for specifically inviting certain stakeholders to address the meeting, and any written or telephonic or video records of internal or external meetings relating to the extension of and reasons for such invitations. So this is when you attend a process, a formal process. Typically, you're expected to sit there with a mouthful of teeth and keep quiet and listen. You're not expected to be able to give input. But certain parties are invited there to give input. We want to know why they selected certain parties to give input and why they didn't want other parties to give input. Anyway, so that's the PAIA request we put in at the beginning of last year relating to the so-called webinar of the Civilian Secretary of Police. We have had zero response from that. Zero,
I tried
nothing.
to worm out of it a couple of times. You don't need it anymore.
We don't need it anymore because they've cancelled the meeting. No. We make it quite plain here that any consultative meeting with the Civilian Secretary of Police. So, guess what heaves onto the horizon a month ago? A month ago, I received an invitation from the Civilian Secretary of Police, from Director Milton Ntwana in the Secretary's office. There is no Civilian Secretary at the moment because he resigned in December, or he was fired in December or whatever, and he hasn't been replaced yet. So the Secretariat carries on their functions, but they don't actually have a titular head. So Director Milton Ntwana, and included in a couple of other people at the Secretariat, the Chief Director Dawn Bell, she who spawned the previous Firearms Control Amendment Bill, which was squashed in Parliament. So anyway, so these are role players who are very important to us, and we need to be able to meet. But when we meet with them, we need to meet with them on a basis that we have the information that we require to make a proper input. We can't be kept in the dark, told to sit down and shut up, and then walk away and they say, oh, well, we've consulted with you. No, you haven't. That's not consultation.
Because they've done it with some other parties.
They've done it with other parties. Anyway, so about a month ago, I get this invitation from Milton Ntwana to attend a meeting in the week of the 21st of February. So that is 2 weeks away, approximately. Where they're going to, where we now are going to, but they term these things bipartisan meetings. That's between parties. That's not an open meeting. Bilaterals, sorry, not bipartisan, bilaterals, I apologize. Bilateral meetings. So that's between you and I. You know, it's not open to the public, it's not open to any other interested parties or stakeholders. It's private, closed meetings.
What are they hiding?
what are they hiding?
That is my
Why are they trying to play mommy against daddy?
And that's
You know,
exactly.
it's the age-old game. A kid wants a new toy. He goes to mommy and says, Mommy, can I have a toy? And mother says, no, go speak to your father. And he goes to his father and says, Mommy says that you said I can have a new toy. It's playing one party against the other.
Divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer. It stinks, quite honestly. It's a bad strategy. It's not open. It's not democratic. It's not in the spirit of an open democracy, as we are allegedly supposed to have. So anyway, so we indicated to the secretary, to Director Antoine at the time, that we were very reluctant to take this up because take up this offer because we expected a process where we could all be involved. That's what was promised to us in Parliament by the head of the Portfolio Committee, Tina Jumot Peterson, about 2 years ago. She said to us, we will have another National Firearms Summit and everybody can come have their say. Instead, they try to slip this amendment bill through last year, and now we get these bilateral meetings. You know, no, sorry guys, cut the shit. Let's get us all into a room so that we can look each other in the eyes and we can support each other.
So that
and we know that the police aren't promising one party something which they're not prepared to offer to anybody else.
Yeah.
We know they're not trying to play mommy against daddy. We want an open process. We want a process where a proper open democracy. So sorry, this is going back in the years a little bit. But many years ago, decades ago, before the advent of our democracy, Lynette and I, and Lynette specifically, was part of what was at that stage called the Open Democracy Task Force.
Yeah.
And the Open Democracy Task Force led to the PAIA Act, the formation of the PAIA Act. Lynette and I attended many meetings, but Lynette specifically because she's an information scientist by trade, by training. Lynette was part of the Open Democracy Task Force. And we developed, or the meetings that we had led to the adoption of the PAIA Act, the Promotion of Access to Information Act. So we kind of know a little bit about what we're talking about here. And this ain't it.
No.
This is not it. This is not how you commit open democracy. This is how
these little private meetings, which some people go for, but it's why.
So this is the thing that bugs us the most, probably. Probably the thing that bugs us the most. You know, there were lots of things that bug me, but this particularly is the allure to certain parties, to certain organizations, to go running off to the Secretary of Police's office with their little tails wagging as fast as they can, saying, oh, we want to be there, we want to be there. And then turn around to their members and say, oh, we were there, and run around and roll on your back and wet yourself. Dudes, it's not a good look. It's not a good look.
It's not an open.
You're not helping the debate. You may think that you're carving out a little bit of territory for yourself, but you're actually screwing us all.
Yeah.
So there are certain parties who have taken up the invitation to meetings from next week already, so the week before the 21st. So under any circumstances,
so we don't even know who else was contacted.
And we know certain of the parties, and I'm sure everybody else does too, because they've made a big hoo-ha about the fact that they were invited to this meeting with the Civilian Secretary of Police. Woo! They're so special. Guys, we warned you about this before. Don't break ranks. Don't try to determine what's good for our 100,000 members.
Yeah.
Just because your 2,500 members, you think you can curry favor with your 2,500 members. Don't go try and screw over my 100,000 members, GOSA's 100,000 members. We will not stand for it. I told you last week we would expose you in public. We are going to do that, guys. You have a very slim window of opportunity to refuse your invitations and to rather play open cards with the rest of us. This is your opportunity.
Okay, anything else, Paul?
Have a nice.
Well, I have a couple of things. I just want to say we're busy with planning for the ladies' Top Shot event. It's going absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
We've had fantastic responses from our sponsors. Some big parties came to coming to play with us. We're going to have some awesome stages with some awesome guns.
Absolutely.
It's going to be
Exciting
really
stuff.
very exciting stuff. So the ladies are going to have awesome goodie bags. There's going to be some nice prizes or lucky draws for the evening function. We're still busy with that, but it is absolutely fantastic.
We must tell you that although so Lynette's first shotgun, because Lynette's rather short of arm, I had to what I termed Frankenize the gun. I had to make a Franken shotgun for her. I had to shorten it so that she could run the shotgun, and she ran it very well. That shotgun was then cerakoted pink and became known as Franken Kitty.
And the girls love it.
And it's been a crowd pleaser with the girls at the events ever since.
Yeah.
Everybody loves shooting the pink shotgun. Unfortunately, it seems that our own success at getting major parties involved, it looks like Franken Kitty is going to be replaced this year with a Benelli.
Yeah.
So we've got the manufacturers, the big manufacturers in. They're going to be running new guns. It's going to be very exciting.
It is very nice.
Very exciting.
So if anybody else wants to sponsor anything for lucky draws or for the goodie bags for the ladies, they each get a little bag with stuff in it, please contact myself or Hannes at events@gosa.co.za. We're still looking for auditions. Please, if you know somebody a kid between the ages of 8 and 15 that's got a good voice,
or 4 and 15.
If they've got good voices, we're still looking for auditions for the Scrappy song. We're going to play that just now. And if you know a lady that has done something
spectacular,
brave, defended herself, and I'm not just talking about firearms, or somebody that's got out of a relationship, please, we still need some nominations for our Fighting Spirit Award. Going to be awesome prizes for that specific lady. It's going to be a gun, competencies, motivations, etc. We've already got a CZ gun sponsored for that prize. So please, if you know somebody that needs to be honoured, let us know. And that's it. We'll play out with those 2 videos again and have a fantastic weekend. Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Scrappy the Land Rover has lots of friends. Come play with us, the fun never ends. We're gun buddies, we learn gun safety. It's fun and easy, just like 1, 2, 3. If you see a gun, you shouldn't be afraid. You're a gun buddy and you'll be okay. So gun buddies, what does Scrappy say? Stop, don't touch, call a parent, walk away. Someone has a gun they keep in their room. Don't touch it or it will go boom. Scrappy knows what's best, so listen girls and boys. Guns are not bad, but guns are not toys. If you see a gun, you shouldn't be afraid. You're a gun buddy and you'll be okay. So gun buddies, what does Scrappy say? Stop, don't touch, call a parent, walk away. A friend invites you to come and play. He tells you to touch a gun. No, that's not okay. Scrappy knows what's best, so listen girls and boys. Guns are not bad, but guns are not toys. If you see a gun, you shouldn't be afraid. You're a gun buddy and you'll be okay. So gun buddies, what does Scrappy say? Stop, don't touch, call a parent, walk away. If you see a gun, you shouldn't be afraid. You're a gun buddy and you'll be okay. So gun buddies, what does Scrappy say? Stop, don't touch, call a parent, walk away.
We are now taking nominations for our 3rd annual GOSA Girls on Fire Fighting Spirit Award, to be awarded at our Top Shot Gala event on the 2nd of April 2022. The Fighting Spirit Award was implemented to recognize those otherwise ordinary women who step up to the plate when life throws them a curveball. We celebrate their triumph over adversity to set an example for other women of what can be done. We hope that their action will be a shining example to other women out there that need courage. Please send your nominations to ant@gosa.co.za.
I am your sister in arms. Support GOSA Girls on Fire.